I'm Petty Diana, and today I have Power Slap 10 co-main event here with me. I got the champion, Isaiah, the Puerto Rican pretty boy Quinones. Welcome back to the Petty Corner.
What's up, y'all?
And I got the number 3 ranked middleweight, Branden the Butcher Bordeaux here.
What's up?
Welcome to the Petty Corner. Finally, glad to have you
Yeah,
here.
it's been a little while. Finally got
Yeah.
something arranged.
Okay, and then just one thing. Sorry, before I just gotta open up my Twitter because the Twitter questions doesn't come up on here. Because we're gonna take some fan questions here at the end. But
Okay.
I just want to say that I respect both of you guys so much because you guys both took this fight on short notice, and we're less than 3 weeks away. You guys took it, and we're 2 weeks to the date today. It does take a lot mentally and physically to be ready all the time, whenever. So, mad respect to you guys, and I just wanted that to be recognized.
Thank you.
Thank you. I
Appreciate it.
appreciate that.
And I do think that does set like a good example for the other strikers to be ready whenever, because you never know when you're gonna get that call.
Yeah, that's
Exactly.
exactly right.
And never say
But
no. Always say yes.
yeah, but with
Yeah,
that being said,
I
I'll start with you, Isaiah, because you're the champ. Um, this is probably the quickest turnaround for a championship title match.
Hmm?
Do you feel like that is going to hinder you, or do you think that you have more of an advantage since you just came off a match?
To be honest, I mean, to me, it feels like more of an advantage. Of course, it's like once you got to get those shakes off. I know Brandon knows this too. When you get hit that first time in your face, it's almost like just it wakes you up. You know. So
Mhm.
I think I have a little advantage for that because I'm ready. I already know what's coming, and it's been a while since he's taken a hit. So I mean, I'm ready. I think I have a little advantage, and I didn't have to cut that much weight. I was already right on weight pretty much. I mean, I gained a little bit because I was carving up and partying a little, enjoying my title. But
Celebrating.
yeah, I mean, I was pretty easy to get back down to weight.
Love it. And Brandon, you have been calling for a title shot. You are 5-0, and it's finally here. How are you feeling going into this? And what were you thinking when they called you?
Yeah, I mean, I was obviously excited. I've had my sights set on Isaiah. I mean, shit, pretty much since April. When he come in there and when he knocked out Ryan like he did, I kind of knew then that, he was probably going to be one of the top guys in this division. And then when we were all out there in June, he knocked out Wes. I know I was saying my shit and everything around then, but I knew, once he knocked out Wes that he was getting a title shot. And then I had said it anyways. I figured Isaiah was going to knock out John, and it kind of played out exactly how I thought. Um, yeah, man, I'm extremely excited. I've been preparing for this. I've been waiting for it, and uh, I was at wrestling practice shit last Thursday night when Erica called through, and pretty much just said, we need you guys to step up and step in, and we're both all about it. And like you said, respect and respect to Isaiah for sure for stepping up and doing this. You know what I mean? By the time fight night comes, I mean that's what 45 days between fights. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? So you
yeah,
know what I mean. I have a ton of respect for him doing that because he didn't have to do that. You know what I mean? He could have said no. I'll wait till the next event or the event after that, whatever it may be. But you know what I mean? He stepped up. You know what I mean? He's the champion, but I think Isaiah's got to or wants to prove a lot, just like myself. You know what I mean? And I think
exactly.
him taking me out proves a lot for himself, as me taking him out proves a lot for myself.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, because
Okay.
that right there, that means a lot. Because like he said, I do have to prove myself. I mean, yeah, I could have taken a break and enjoyed my title a little bit longer, but I don't care. I'll put that title on the line 5 weeks later, 2 weeks later. I'll put it on the line the next night if I have to. But it's like it puts a lot, and it says a lot about the middleweight class and what we're ready, to do.
Yes, the middleweight has been my favorite for these last couple months. It's the most exciting.
It,
You got a lot of
it's been
beef
so
going
great to
on, and you guys have exciting matches.
Yeah.
yeah, it's been great to see things going on because I think when I went to come out of season two, if I'm not mistaken, we only had like was it maybe 4 or 5 guys ranked, something like
Yeah.
that. I mean, there was like
Oh,
a half a weight class or something. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? John had to stay on the shelf because of this or whatever. You know what I mean? Now we've got a deep ass division now. You know what I mean? That is full of exciting matchups. So they did a phenomenal job. I know Erica had told me, I think back in April or whatever, when I had talked to him when we were out there, that the middleweight division was going under a complete transformation. And sure as shit, now look where it's at. Just within a few months, they did a good job on bringing new talent in and bringing matchups in. Isaih dropping down obviously made a huge impact. You know what I mean? A couple of us coming off season 2, now a couple coming off season 3, and so it's exciting, and it should be exciting for our whole division because there's good matchups now. It's not, you know, kind of what it was at the beginning.
Yes, and we got Hercules in the chat too.
What's up?
Josh Newson. No, he's another one that's coming in the mix.
I'm rooting for his ass in this one, actually.
Yeah.
I'm sure that's not a surprise.
Yeah, he's a sleeper. Like he doesn't have a big persona, but like he goes out and he shows out. Like he's gonna be climbing up those ranks like a silent killer.
No, that's cool. That's exactly what I'm looking forward to. I'm looking forward to because of course we got the vets. We got Isaih, John, Wesley. I mean, I can't put Branden in that category anymore because he's going against me. But those guys are gonna be, the stoppers of who's coming up. That's gonna be they're gonna be the judges of who's gonna climb those ranks.
Yes, and we have Darren, who just knocked out the Chief. I know that was a controversial win, but I mean, then we all have the Chief being the Chief, so we can throw those in the mix after a couple more matches.
It's good for the division, you know what I mean? Yeah, I mean, does some shit get annoying sometimes? Yeah, maybe, but you know what I mean? It does. It's another element of keeping the division exciting, though. You know what I mean? Like talking shit, whatever it may be. You know, as long as things don't get too personal and stupid, like I've seen some other shit happen, but.
And that is the thing, is like our division, I mean, not just our division, Power Slap in general, there's controversial fights, and controversial matches. It's because, Darren, we all saw. He turned a little early. Ref didn't call it. That's on the refs. That's not on any of us. That's not on, that's not on the Chief. That's not on Darren himself. That's just, what the ref called. Then you got matches like mine where, I squatted down a little too low on the first one, but the second one, come on, I don't move, but they call me for a flinch. And I can say the same thing about John Davis. He definitely moved before I hit him, but they don't call that. It's like we just got to tighten up on some of these calls, but I mean, we're always going to have stuff like that.
I would love to see them do. I know they say they're supposed to do reviews, but I feel like they're not really effective. I feel like they need to do it like the NFL, where the NFL does it in New York, and the officials out that are not at the game, they sit there and review it, and then they let them know. Maybe they can do that like in Las Vegas or something.
The crazy thing is there's so many cameras everywhere.
Yeah.
So how, if there's so many cameras, are you not catching some more of it?
Yeah.
And AI technology is insane right now, so they can probably the cameras can sense too much movement or whatever.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking. Because like Isaih just said, you know what I mean? It's plain as day. You go back and watch a Godfrey match. You see him turn his head like he does, and then John in the first round. Trust me, I've watched that match back probably 50 times already. John in the first round turns his head as Isaih is tucked, and then they don't get called, and then Isaih gets hit for it twice.
Yeah.
Twice. The one he might have clinched just a little bit, but he didn't.
The first one I'll give him.
He didn't turn his head though.
Yeah, the first one I'll give him. Is like when I braced, I did squat down a little too much, I guess, with my knees. But the second one, come on. And even the one against Wesley, like, come on.
Yeah, no, I was going to say that. I feel like they did the same thing at 8 against you, because I was there watching, and then I watched them back when I got home, and I was like, that was not a flinch.
Then the crazy thing is I showed Mark Smith that exact video. He's like, oh, that shouldn't have been called a flinch. He's like, we'll try to be careful this time. And then Mark calls me on 2. I'm like, come on, bro.
Yeah.
I was fucking with Isaih a few days ago. I'm like, hey, I hope one of those 2 refs is roughing our match.
You know what though? I've been just like you watch my videos, I watch yours. You clench like I do, so we'll see. We'll see if they call yours too.
I know just things about both.
I got you.
Yes, Okay, let's get back on topic. Okay, Branden. This is the biggest opportunity. Like, this is the biggest power slap match that you've been in. Like, sometimes that pressure gets to people. How do you plan on managing that? Because you have not been on this big of a stage yet. I know you've been like on numbered cards, but like now it's finally a title match. So like you have more eyes looking at you.
Yeah, I mean, you're under the spotlight a little bit more for a title fight, but luckily, kind of my upbringing, coming from the wrestling background and the school that I went to and stuff like that. I mean, we wrestled in front of crowds of 3,000-4,000 people all the time. So I was doing that stuff in high school. So to me, I mean, I learned then to, when you go into those arenas and stuff, you want to block the crowd out. afterwards, what do you know what I mean? Whenever you're celebrating, you want to have fun, stuff like that, perfectly fine. But the best thing you can do, especially if you're a type of person who gets nervous, you go in there, you just block it out, right? You're going in there on a damn mission. Block out the crowd, concentrate on what you got to concentrate on, and you know what I mean. Like I said, I've been in front of those crowds a few times wrestling. Early on in my MMA career, we had some big crowds like that too. So it's not really the crowd that I think would get to me at all.
Love it. Okay, so actually, I think I was talking to Chelsea Dodson. I know she's here in the chat. She was saying you can't really see much outside of like maybe the first row or so because of the lights anyway. So does that kind of help?
Oh yeah, like when you're up on the stage, that you're saying
Yeah.
it is pretty damn dark up in that crowd, isn't it? That's kind of what I've thought too. Like yeah, you can see like around pretty well, you know what I mean. But like, as it does get up a little bit higher, it is pretty, it is darker.
Yeah. Love it.
But
Okay.
then there's also there's also you know what I mean, it depends on who you are as a person, because there's also people out there who embrace the hell out of a crowd, right? I mean, the crazy he's a good example of that. He embraces a crowd, he gets them chanting, gets them going, like he's you know what I mean, he's a good showman up there, so he feeds off that crowd. So it just depends on who you are as a person, whether you know what I mean, you need to block it out or use the crowd to fuel you for energy.
Yep.
Love it. And then Isaiah, we're gonna take it back to the flinching calls that we were just talking about. They have been calling you on your last few matches. What are the chances that you think that happens again? And do you see this match being cleaner than the last two?
I mean, to me, all my matches have been clean. Like that's where it's like I don't like that word, clean or anything. You know what I mean? Because if you look at my matches, you could see calls were just bad. I'll say on two, but on one of them, like that was a legit one I could say. But on two of them, I did not flinch. Like, but it's gonna be up to the ref. It's gonna be up to the ref. I don't argue with them. I ask them how I can fix it. What do you need me to do better? Because that's not somebody I'm gonna win a fight with. So
Yeah.
that's why. But I mean, no matter what it is, I just know I got to go and finish a match.
Yeah. It kind of sucks though too because it's like perception. Like one ref, he won't call something, but then the next ref will call it. So it just depends on who is reffing that match.
Yeah. For instance, like we could go to other matches where guys are going against taller guys, right? You got people who what Russell went against Cody, right? Russell was allowed to lift his heel, but because Cody's taller, you know what I mean, and they didn't call that a step. So it's like it really all depends, like you said, on the reference of the ref.
Yeah. Okay, and then Branden, I did take a poll, and you are coming in as the underdog. How do you feel about that?
Of
Do you
course.
feel like that's gonna like get in your head a little bit, or does that give you more motivation to go out there and try to get the win?
No, if anything, it gives me more motivation. I mean, I'm not dumb. I mean, Isaiah's the champion, right? He's knocked out 3 guys in a row. He's the champion. He's on a run. I mean, obviously, I'm going to be the underdog coming into the fight. So, no, I don't. I actually haven't even thought about that or really cared about that. To me, that's kind of common sense coming into the title fight that you're going to be the underdog. So, I don't care at all.
But I will say this: when Isaiah was going into the match against John, he was still the favorite then, and John was going in as the underdog, as the defending champion. So,
I would have
Actually,
favored.
no. I was the underdog.
well, I mean, on my poll.
Oh, okay.
On the poll that I took.
My
On the
bad.
actual betting polls.
I
Yeah.
don't do betting,
Yeah,
so I don't know what
but
that was.
your polls are probably like a lot of us, like the fans and like a lot of us guys
Yeah.
in power stuff, right? So I
Yeah.
mean, they're kind of seeing it, and I hate like I'm trying to shit on John because I'm not trying to shit on John, but you know what I mean. But like, I don't know. I had a feeling that I said it. I said, you know what I mean, in one of my interviews that probably was going to happen,
I
and it
mean,
did. John went
even
out
when we were
there.
chopping it up, and
Yeah.
you were telling me like, "Hey, I already know, bro. Like, I know I'm gonna go
Mm-hmm.
against you."
Yeah. Yeah. And I knew, you know what I mean. I knew John's technique had completely switched after he hurt his shoulder. I mean, go watch his early matches and then watch his last 2 matches.
Yeah.
His technique is much different than what it was. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So whether he wants to say like there's something still going on with the shoulder, elbow, whatever, you know what I mean? Even if it's healed, there's still a confidence issue in your head. I
What?
mean, once you've had that happen, it's in your head each time you go to hit. You're like, oh fuck, I hope I don't just hit somebody just wrong and it happens again. And when he hit Isaiah's bowling ball head on the top of his head like he did, you know what I mean? He felt something shoot through his arm and he was, oh shit, you know what I mean? Kind of shit his pants a little bit, like, oh fuck, are you serious? Here we are again.
I do think he injured his wrist on that match, but Isaiah, on that same poll, you were coming in as the favorite. Does that give you more confidence, or you just don't pay any mind to that?
To be honest, I'm the same as Brandon. I really don't pay any mind to any of that because I've been the underdog. I don't know how many times. I just know what I can go and do on that stage, and I'm just gonna do it every single time. And I mean, I don't need anybody to tell me, "Oh, hey, you're gonna win," or "He's gonna win," or that person, this person. And like I said, the betting odds too is like everybody's betting on this person or that person. I just go in there and I know what I'm gonna do. I already have it in my head what I'm gonna do that night and how I'm gonna do it.
Love it. Okay. And Brandon, this is your first title shot. So this is the first time that you could potentially go 5 rounds.
Mhm.
Do you feel that, do you have have any concerns going into the match under those circumstances because you have not been those 2 extra rounds?
No, actually, I kind of think I like the experience of it. You know what I mean? So I've gone 3 rounds multiple times now. You know what I mean? So a 5 round fight is just a little more intriguing. I mean, you just take a couple more shots, so it ain't nothing like, you know what I mean? What if some of these other places are doing 7 rounds, 10 rounds, unlimited rounds, shit like that? Now, that would be a little bit different, doing like some unlimited round stuff. But five, you know what I mean? To me, that's no, it's not that bad at all.
Love it. Okay. And then Isaiah, how do you see your path to victory to taking Brandon's O?
To be honest, I mean, I'm gonna have to finish the match. I mean, especially with what my track record is, because of the calls I get. I don't want to leave it up to the refs again. You know what I mean? So I got to go in there, and my mindset, I got to knock him out. So that's my mindset. That's my plan is to try to go in there and knock out my boy Brandon. And I mean, that's just how it has to be in order for me to win because I don't want to leave it up to a chance where like, hey, they call me for a flinching foul and I'm down on the card.
Yeah. And then Brandon, how do you see your path to taking the belt from the new middleweight champion?
Yeah, you're always shooting for a finish, right? You know what I mean? That's the biggest thing you want. You want that finish, you want that knockout, you want that knockout bonus, everything like that. You know what I mean? So I'm always shooting for the knockout. You know, I'm not um but if it does go 5 rounds, I'm prepared for that as well. You know what I mean? I'm prepared for it to end early, I'm prepared for it to go late. I'm prepared for any situation. So no matter what, no matter how this goes or where it goes, I'll be well prepared. I'll be ready. I'll be good to go and we're both gonna go up there and put on a hell of a show and it's gonna be fun.
Yeah,
I can't
buddy.
wait. I'm going to be there and I got some good tickets.
And you know what I mean. This match it's a great match. You know what I mean. Like I said a couple weeks ago on Slap News. You know what I mean. You can sell the fact of the streak that Isaiah is on, the knockouts. You know what I mean that he's had, and then the chin that I mean you can sell it right there between his knockouts and my chin. Not even I mean he's got a damn good chin too. You know what I'm saying? Just between what he's done and how I've been able to hold up with my chin, you know that's a great selling point right there. I mean, shit. Look at the main event too. You know what I mean? You got Bell, who's got killer power, and then you got Dorian, who's just got this crazy fucking chin, and now everybody's like, "What's gonna happen?" You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I feel like it
Yeah.
should be the same thing
That
with
one's
us.
going
Like,
to be so
what's
entertaining.
what's gonna happen?
Yeah.
Holy fuck! What's gonna happen?
Yeah. Exactly.
Yes. All right. This question I'm going to ask both of you guys. So, for the last, I want to say 6 months, it's just been John, Isaiah, Brandon, Azael. So, I'll start with you, Isaiah. If you guys are to win, are you prepared to call out Azael or do you see there's another contender in the division?
I think there's. I mean, obviously Azael, he's top dog. He deserves a shot. But I have a little surprise on who I want to call out once
Ooh,
once I win. So it's somebody that's not even in Power Slap, but I definitely want to call him
really?
out.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Money
Well,
matches.
well, Brandon, are you going to call out someone in Power Slap like Azael or somebody else? Do you feel like Azael deserves
You
that
know,
call out if you were to take the belt from Isaiah?
I mean, yeah, he's there. My thing is, if I win that title, I want the next baddest motherfucker. So whether Frank and Erica decide that that's Azael, or to turn around and give Isaiah a rematch for stepping up on four, or, you know what I mean, a 17 days notice,
Yeah, that's a good point.
whoever, whatever it is, you know what I mean? And that's kind of how I've thought about the situation. Him stepping up the way he has, you know what I mean? If it goes out there and goes my way and doesn't go his way, I would have zero problem with right then and there telling them, turn around and rebook this
Yes, on a full count.
you know what I mean, and give him the 6 8 weeks.
Make us
Yeah, book it
coaches for
for
season
Scotty.
4. Make us
Right, or be the
coaches
coach for
season
right,
4.
coach for season 4. Because you know what I mean. The more time you have to prepare and everything, obviously, the better off you're going to be. And like you said, he was in a little bit of a camp and stuff for John and whatnot, but he did have a couple weeks there where you know what I mean. It was all right. Now I'm going to relax and kind of enjoy this for a minute, and then it was oh fuck, here we are again. Like you know, what I mean, I'm
Yeah,
going to step
yeah,
up and do this. So it's like
exactly.
you know,
Yep. But honestly, 100%, Isaih is top dog in our class right now. Besides the champ, of course. But you know what I mean. It's like, but I mean,
And the
and
same thing, like,
Branden, yeah.
like and Isaiah's been on talking shit about me a lot lately, but whatever. But you know what I mean? Like, even I know he's flirted with the idea of going down to 170 and stuff before too. I mean, if he was to go down there, he's in immediate title contentions down there too. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
If staying at 85, he is going down to 170. Take out one guy down there, and boom, you're into a title shot. I mean, he's sitting in a good position. You know what I mean, I'm not
Yeah.
going to sit here and trash him. He's sitting in a good position, whether he stays at 85 or goes on to 70. Either way, he's in a good spot.
Yeah. No
Hey,
matter
the
what he does, he
170 though,
deserves
they
it.
need some like spicing up.
Yeah.
Were you talking about
So
170? Is that what you said?
yeah, so I mean, because like out
Yeah,
of
I
like
agree.
after the top like maybe 3, it's kind of
Yeah,
like they
Nobody.
haven't had
falls off a
matches,
little bit.
so there's
Yep,
no excitement there. So they need a little
that's
bit of
a
spicing up down there.
It'd be a good idea to have a couple. You know, what I mean, if there's a couple guys at 85 that can make the weight, isn't West fighting at 170 tomorrow? MMA.
On MMA, yeah, I think so.
So
Yeah,
you know, what I mean, obviously he could potentially make that weight too. You know what I mean? You throw those two guys down there in the mix, and now all of a sudden their division gets a hell of a lot more exciting because there's a bunch more
yeah,
matchups right there.
Yeah, I even
So
remember Wes talking about possibly wanting to drop too whenever we had our
yeah,
match.
because him and Manny are what 1-1, right? When
Yeah.
Manny was champion, I heard him. I want to go down now, but you know, what I
Yeah.
mean, especially if Manny goes and wins the title again, I mean, they're still sitting at 1-1 with each other. So he's got an argument to
yeah.
go down there,
But
win
the,
one, and do a
but
title
it's
shot
kind
too.
of like Anthony and Manny would need a trilogy though to settle that.
Yeah,
So they could be
yeah,
another coaches for season 4. It depends how the match goes and the way it ends. So.
yeah. I think it depends on how it goes too.
Okay, but before I ask you guys what your final thoughts are, I'm going to go through the comments really quick. Fapolich, I don't even know if I ever say this right because I say every name wrong. But he said if Bordeaux wins and if Bordeaux wins and Blackburn wins his belt, then that means that there will be 2 undefeated champs. And if Isaih wins, then that means he's close to the pound for pound number 1 spot. Quinones already is close to pound for pound number 1. He just needs a title defense to get it.
Yeah, I agree with it. I mean, he probably doesn't realize this either, but me and Blackburn are both from Michigan.
Yeah,
So that's kind of
that'd
close
be
to you.
insane.
And we're one of the only 2 guys. There was Dan who was on season 3. He was from Grand Rapids, which is closer to me. So I mean, you want to consider him. There's only 3 of us guys from Michigan in Power Slap, and you got me and Blackburn. You know what I mean? We're both sitting on the tops of our division, so it's pretty cool. We're not
Well,
as
guess
big as like
what?
California, Cali, and all that shit out there. So
We're bringing them back to Cali, bro.
fuck. Yeah, you guys are. And Dorian's from Cali too, isn't he?
Yeah,
Yep.
you should walk out to I'm going
The
back
bell,
back
the
to
bell, I think
Cali.
is from here too.
No shit. Like I said, that does surprise me. California's so
Hey, in
big.
your whole area, that's like Jackie, McKinney, Azael, you, and there's probably
Oh
some
yeah,
more than
that's
There's a
right.
missing.
few. Yeah, there's a few of us.
Yeah,
Yeah, that
Manny's
makes
over there
sense.
too. Okay.
Manny.
Joe says power slap rules, bro. And then, okay, guys, I'm
Agreed.
about to ask fan questions too, right before we get to the last segment. So if you have any, drop them while I'm going through these comments. Chelsea said, but the real question, are you guys cool outside of power slap? LOL. Isaih is too nice to not get along with.
I love it, Chelsea.
I completely agree on that. You know what I mean? And outside of this, it's Isaiah is a good guy. He gets along with, you know what I mean, everybody. He's kind of when it comes to the personality trait, he's kind of the opposite of me. Kind of opposite of me with people. He is friendly. He's, you know what I mean, outgoing. He is a good guy. You know what I mean? I can be kind of an asshole
Yeah,
sometimes. So
you want to know what's funny is I actually kind of have to cool off Branden a little. You know, I have
it's
to cool him down a little. But yeah, I mean, I agree. I feel like I do what I do on that stage because I have a huge heart, and
mhm.
I know I'm up there to do what I can for my family because I think about my family while I'm up there. I know he's gonna do the same thing. That's why
Yep.
this battle is gonna be crazy, and it's gonna be an amazing fight because of that. Even though we get along, we love each other, but it's like no matter what, we're gonna try to take each other's heads off, no matter what.
Yes, I
Yeah,
love it.
we both have kids and we both have families and we know, you know what I mean? And when we've had these conversations privately that, yeah, we're boys now and we're boys after. When we go up there, we're trying to take each other's heads off. We're trying to put on the biggest and best show absolutely possible. And
Yep.
when we walk back off that stage and we go back in the back, we're gonna be friends again. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? I don't want this ruining a friendship or anything like that, and I don't think it will. You know what I mean? I think me and Isaiah, we've talked about it enough. You know what I mean? We know how to put our friendship aside for those 5 or 10 minutes, however long we are up on that stage, and then when we go to the back, and we're friends again, no matter what.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
we'll go have to get a drink afterwards.
And to be
If
honest,
you guys
Sure,
think.
I agree.
to me, I don't know. It's always been in my head. Like, I mean, I've asked Frank and Erica too. Like, hey, like, I do want to promote myself and get myself out there too. But I've never been the type of guy where I need to talk trash to promote myself. I make a statement on what I do, and I get those highlight reels to show who I am. So I don't need to talk trash to do that. I
Yeah,
and
his highlight reels are speaking for themselves.
Yeah, and one thing
You know
I
what I
was
mean?
always taught when I grew up, like when I was growing up, my dad told me one thing, and it's always stuck with me. Is actions speak louder than words, right? And I mean everybody's heard that, but growing up, that stuck with me is like when I wanted to buy a house and do this and that, my dad's like, "All right, don't talk about it, be about it." So I mean, ever since then, like ever since growing up, I just knew like just gotta be about it, don't talk about it.
Yes. Okay, well, Hercules, he said, So I'm not sure what that's about. But then we have Fabulous again. He said, what about some of the new guys once they rise up? Is it Runt or Okuma 915? I guess he was questioning who you're going to call out. You're going to have to find out when you watch it, all right? Who do you guys think the
I
season,
don't think
I
he's
think he meant
calling
four,
anybody out
season
from
five coaches will
SF.
be?
I don't think he's calling anybody from FFC out. So I think he's all right on that.
Two
I think he's
Michigans.
kind of shooting for the stars on something.
All right, and then we have La Cuca from Twitter says, I respect both these gentlemen right here. I'm biased as hell, though, and he dropped some Puerto Rican flags. He said, see y'all both there.
You know what? We
He's a
we
good
all
dude.
expected this was gonna happen though. We all expected, I am the champ right now. So yes, there is gonna be a lot of people rooting for me. Like I said, this is gonna be the test. Honestly, the test of my power is gonna be Brandon's chin because if you do go watch all Brandon's fights, not a single one, I mean all of them have been to decision, and that's what's in my head is like that's why I'm like focused on what I have to do. I'm picturing me knocking him out. I have to focus on that, but like we said, his chin, he's got a strong chin. So it's going to test my power.
Love it. And what are you guys' final thoughts going into this match?
Go ahead.
That right there, that honestly right there with my statement. I mean, like we all said in this past interview, love each other. We know we got to set that aside and just go destroy each other up on stage. But I mean, in my head, I gotta knock this dude out, and I gotta show everybody why I'm a champ. And that it wasn't just 1 2 3 matches and I just won those 3 matches in a row. It's like I'm defending my title after 5 weeks, and I'm going to show why I deserve to be a champion.
And what are your final thoughts, Brandon?
You know, there's probably a lot of people out there, probably most people actually, that don't expect me to knock out Isaiah or even maybe even see Isaiah get knocked out at 185, right? So I plan to shock the world, and I feel like if I can go in there and I can knock out Isaiah, I'm going to the fucking moon with this because he has everything that I'm working for,
Call
right?
me
He
Elon
ha-
Musk.
he has everything that I've been after since I came into this. You know what I mean? He shot up fast these last couple months, was able to get in there and get that title. You know what I mean? So that my attention immediately shifts to him. But he's got everything that I want. And how I look at it too is I think he's got to go in there and knock me out as well for him to win. Because I think in a five if it goes a 5 round decision, I'm very smart. I'm very, very methodical. I'm very calculated. And I will be in my head every round knowing what's going on. You know what I mean? And I feel like if it comes down to a decision, I can point people out for sure. I mean, I think I have the tools and I think I have the know-how to make, you know what I mean, my shots look more effective, get them to move, get them to do this. You know, I mean, I've studied a lot of things and I've seen a lot of, I mean, obviously I don't know exactly what the judges are looking at, but just by seeing how these matches play out and how some of the things happen, I think I have a pretty good idea on how they're judging things.
All right. Well, Isaiah, what are your predictions? I know you're saying you're going for the knockout, but like, can you call it? Is it going to be first round, third round, fifth round?
I mean, I'm 3 for 3 in 3 rounds, so I'm going to say 3 rounds.
And Brandon, what do you think?
I'm going to say the same too, because and I've told Isaiah this, I've told other people, you know what I mean, at the same thing, and I think we're both the same way. I think to one shot either of us is going to be hard as hell. I think it's going to come down to who rocks the other person first and who can finish up on that. You know what I mean? If you go in there and you can rock him in the second round and put him away, because that's what Isaiah has done. That's what he did to John. That's what he did to Wes. Ryan was a little bit different situation, but he rocked Wes and then put him out in the next round. He rocked John, put him out in the next round. So you know what I mean? I think And he's done a good job of capitalizing once he's had those guys rocked, right? He's had them rock that round. The next round, he's finished it. He hasn't slipped up or missed, missed the button or anything like that. So he's done a great job in doing that. And that's what you got to do. You know what I mean? If you want to be a champion, you want to be the champion, you have to follow up on those type of things. When you got somebody rocked, you got to have that instinct and you got to be smart in your head to land clean and put them out and finish them. Be done
Yep.
with it. You know what I mean? Don't keep fucking around. The longer you fuck around, the longer things go, the more shit that can happen too. So
And
That's what
that's
you'll find
what I
out.
pride myself on. Honestly, I pride myself on that, on my accuracy. My accuracy, I want to say, is through the roof. I have the best accuracy. I want to say because, I mean, if you look, yeah, I get called for stupid little flinches, whatever. But if you look at all my strikes are in the same spot every single time. And I even had, the head of the
his
Nevada
hand placement
Commission.
is his hand placement's the same every single time. He measures in the same spot every single time.
Yep, I do. But it's like it's crazy is like just for the Nevada commissioner to come up to me and be like, "Hey, that's the cleanest I've ever seen." Like that always stuck with me as well. And it's like even though like it does look repetitive and stuff like that, and I know my boy's been studying my matches, there's still things I can do to make it, where I make sure I hit that button. I gotta, peek through that beard. I gotta peek through the beard a little, but
And
I gotta make
that's the
sure.
thing is, and that's the thing, as I think every human or every person has a button. Some people's buttons may be way smaller than other people's, but I think, you know what I mean? It just takes finding that button. You know what I mean? Like I
Exactly.
said, some people's button may be smaller than the other, but everybody has a button. Everybody has a spot that will shut your brain off.
Yep.
You have to find that spot.
Exactly. And that's why we both. I honestly, realistically, that's why we both say round 3, because it's gonna be on who finds the button first.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. I can't wait to see it. And we will see all you guys at home December 6th at Power Slap 10 at the Fontainebleau in Las Vegas or live and free on Rumble. Thank you guys for being here. And I cannot wait to see that live.
Of course. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, we're not live.